Hello, audience, and thank you for coming back once again for today's review of these two wonderful ladies from the Clone Wars. Well, one of these action figures is actually from the Clone Wars line, and the other one is, as you know her, from The Mandalorian. So, without further ado, let's take a look at these two lovely figures. Box art. We got some lovely art here on the side for Asajj Ventress. And all the typical information at the back. An assassin trained in the ways of the dark side by Count Dooku. Asajj Ventress yearned to be considered a true Sith, but such status wasn't allowed under the Sith rule of 2. Did she actually ever want to be considered a true Sith? I don't remember that. I know she wanted to be taken serious as an apprentice, but I don't think I actually ever remember her wanting to be like a true Sith. But okay, that's fine. That's fine. You know, you get the typical product information, all the blah 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 at the top of the box. There's not so much going on with these boxes, but they do look very nice and orderly if you are a box collector. Now for Bo-Katan, we got the beautiful side art here with the helmet on. I do absolutely love the design of the Night Owls. For the helmet, you got the same product information here. Their full name, Bo-Katan Kryze. However you pronounce it, I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the Clone Wars episodes in which she was in, and I don't think they actually mentioned her last name in The Mandalorian. But a gifted warrior, Bo-Katan Kryze is a legendary Mandalorian, and that she truly is, and she refused to align with the Empire's occupation of Mandalore. And that's all the information we get from her. My God, she did an entire coup against Maul. You could have at least told us that. And again, if you buy these figures, how do you already not know the characters? Unless you're just a completionist who buys the entire line. And who am I to judge about that? Let's just unpack these two lovely ladies and go on from there, shall we? Now, shall we begin with Asajj Ventress? And she does look absolutely loving, and she is already there holding every accessory she comes with. It is basically just her two lightsabers, and that is it. No interchangeable hands or anything else. And I do have to say, she looks absolutely fantastic for the most part. Now, I have to admit, at first, looking at the head sculpt, it was a bit weird because, well, the only media I know her from is the Clone Wars animated show, so she is always stylized there. So looking at a realistic depiction of her was a bit weird when I first got the box in, but once you get used to it, it's like, yeah, that's her, all right. That's as you would expect from her. Now let's just take a little close-up at her features and everything. She does have a beautiful paint job around the eyes there with the makeup and the tattoos and everything. Now I do think that the neck bit looks a bit weird though. Was the neck piece up that high? Up until it? I feel like maybe they could have cut it off here and just did her head color there, just to break it off a bit, because now it really looks like a head on a peg a bit too much, I think. But that's a minor detail. That's just a minor detail. We got all her bandages wrapped around the waist there, and at the arm. That's some beautiful sculpt work though. Same goes for the lightsaber. Let's take a quick close-up look at that. As you can see, there is a small hole at the bottom. which of course does allow for both lightsabers too. Oh, to connect with each other. For her iconic fight style. Now there are also notches on the lightsaber hilt there. I am not 100% sure what those are for. And of course the blade is removable. I'm not too sure what those are for. At first I thought they were for, like, you could clip them on her belt. But I could not see any indentions or like any place where you could plug those in. So I'm kind of at a loss of what those are for. Was it something she had on her lightsaber? Is it just so that the stop for the hand so they don't slide out the hand that easily? I am not quite certain. But we do have, like, the belt is beautifully detailed, painted gold. It is very, very nice. And here, the entire band-aid detail continues on over the legs, and I do have to say, this is the one thing I kind of dislike, is that the robes she has are this, you can probably see that. It's like, it's a little bit fuzzy. It's like very, very, very short plush. I think I would have preferred like a silk fabric or something like that. Or no, not literal silk, because that would probably be too expensive. But like, you know, that stuff that looks like spandex but is not stretchy. I'm not too familiar with my fabric terms in English, but you probably at least understand what I mean, right? But yeah, that's the one nitpick I have, is just the fabric choice for the skirt thing. But that may just be because of like color choices, because one thing I do know from cosplay is that it is difficult to find some fabrics in specific colors, and custom dyeing fabric, well, the minimum you would need for that, for a factory to actually like do that order, and the amount you would need and the costs of that are enormous. Anyway, as for articulation, we've got her head on a ball joint at the lower neck there, which allows her a fair range of wibbly wobbly motion. And of course, she can look up that far and look down that far. She can do a full 360. It actually does not turn at the lower point here. It's just forward and backwards motion. But it does help for a wider range of head movement than most figures, actually. Anyway, her arm goes up that far, unless of course you turn it around. You can do a full spin. She turns her lower arm at the elbow. There is no bicep swivel, but there is one for the wrist. And of course, her design does allow her to have the full range of moving her hand up and down like that, which is exactly the same for the other side. And she does have a waist swivel and a little bit, I think it's on a ball joint there. But it gives a fair range of motion, and of course the full turn there. I'm sorry, my lady, we just have to Lift up your skirt there. You can turn her leg up at the top side, but apparently also the knee joint this time, which might actually be handy for a lot of standing. Arrange. Everything that's getting in the way here. But she can do a spread of about that far. Her leg does kick forward quite far, as does it go backwards quite a bit. Though her butt does make the leg, it doesn't go straight back, but you know what I mean. It does. She does only have a single jointed knee, so that goes up that far. And of course, you do have a swivel at the foot. It goes back that much. It goes forward that much. But it has a fairly wide range of motion. So the articulation is very, very good on this, which I like. It's also because there's very few details at all the joints, so that helps with quite a range of movement, which also allows for, despite not having a double jointed elbow, it does go a little bit further than usually. Usually something stops there, but you have a fair range of motion there. She can do quite the good flex. Oh yeah, she can do it. Overall, not a bad figure, but I do have some nitpicks with the fabric choice. But what can you do about it? Well, maybe I'll customize a new dress thingy myself. I just find it very weird that it's like a furry fabric. Like I don't think they ever intended this to be furry or furry looking on the show, so why this choice of fabric, I do not know. But other than that, it is a fantastic, fantastic figure. Though I do wish figures like this would come with like some extra hand options. Like we have just the holdy hands for her weapons now. Why not like a force push or a force choke hand, you know? That would have been very, very nice. Because it's Hasbro. It's not like they can't do it. They do it for the Lightning Collection. NECA does it for the Ninja Turtles. They actually usually do quite a few hands on for each figure with NECA. And NECA is not that... It's pretty much the same price range as these, pretty much. Maybe just like a $5 difference, which I don't find all that much of a difference. Not like Mesco and stuff like that. Or Super 7 with the modern vintage Ninja Turtles. But yeah, that is it for this little figure. Let's move on to Bo-Katan. Yoink! And here we have Bo-Katan Kryze, whichever. Don't kill me, please. Anyway, she does look absolutely fantastic. And here she is on display with all her accessories, because once again there is no extras, which is not too weird for the Black Series, but it is kind of a shame when so many figure lines do offer a little bit more for the same price, even from figures in Hasbro's line itself. But it's fine. Let's just take a closer look, shall we? Because when we look at that beautiful head sculpt, it does completely and utterly scream Katie Sackhoff. That is a fantastic head sculpt. Absolutely beautiful. Before we take a look at the rest of her, let's just take a quick look at the accessories. She does come with, one of which is her helmet, which does have an absolutely fantastic paint job. It looks really worn out. And the rangefinder, of course, moves, which is a fantastic detail that I do love. And we're certainly getting a lot of sunshine from outside. I apologize for that, audience. Just let me go ahead and fix that. There, that's better. Where were we? We were here with the helmet. Absolutely fantastic paint job on the helmet. It looks really nice and weathered. Absolutely fantastic. Now she does come with twice the same gun, one of which is now stuck in her holster. It's a bit of a snug fit. It's a fairly simple blaster. She has two of these, a little bit of brown paint there, otherwise just cast in a silvery plastic. And of course these fit in her holster there, which she has on each side. Now as for the last bit that's separate, it's her little jetpack, which unlike with Mando, actually does match with the rest of her armor. I don't know why Mando's jetpack was much darker than his armor, but I don't think it was like that on the show. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But oh well, it just pegs in on the back as per usual. Now let's take a look at the rest of the details. We got the armor over here, and we even have some very nice details with the, how do you call it, the undersuit, the collar. And look, this is what I actually meant for like Asajj Ventress, like, you know, have a little collar and then just their skin tone. This looks better. Now it actually looks like a head on a neck instead of like a head on a ball joint or a peg. You got so many straps and stuff and things here. My God. It's a little bit misaligned here, though. Might just be my figure here. But that's fine. That's not so much of a big deal. Yeah, it's a little bit, as you can see, it's not connected properly there. I might have to fix that myself with just a little bit of glue, but that's okay. Anyway, we do have a back plate here, but that is unpainted. That is kind of a shame, though. I just have to grab a silver Sharpie and just fix that myself. We do get some very nice details around the belt there, including the silver clasps there. Got some nice scuffs on the leg armor and texture on the boots. I don't know if you can properly see. I think you can see it right now. Yeah, we got some really nice texture on the boots there, and I do have to praise the line for that. They really add texture on fabrics and everything. They do that so well, like the molded details on like what's the clothing and stuff like that. It is such for an action figure, such a minor detail, I feel, but it makes them pop out really, really good instead of just like, you know, the smooth plastic look. We got on both sides the silver plates there, and of course on her arm. the Night Owl symbol on both sides. Some dirt here and there. Again, nice details of the undersuit. Really well done. I have to say, it really hides the joint here as well. Probably a lot less so when you move the arm. But like this. Stop it there out of focus. But yeah, we got the hand plate. A very nice little gauntlet there. Some dirted scuff there. Same for the other side. Details on this are very well done. Well, with the exception of this then. I guess they figured like, this goes over it anyway, so who cares? But I do feel like just giving this color wouldn't have been too much to ask for. But it is what it is. And other than that, she is a fantastic figure once again. My God, I am loving these Black Series. I guess that's also why I got... like, when I started on these, I found a Boba Fett. I was like, I'm only going to start on this line if I can actually find a Boba Fett or a Darth Vader, because otherwise, screw it. And at a convention 2 years ago at Brussels Comic Con, I did find a Boba Fett. So I was like, okay, cool, Boba Fett. I will just, you know what? I'll just do Empire Strikes Back. Just that. Just Empire Strikes Back. And then The Mandalorian happened. And then, well, Bo-Katan came out. And I already figured some rare figures were going very fast. So, heck, let's just get some, like Bo-Katan. And, let's just get Ahsoka. And then, well, Grievous. He can fit in there, too. Because he's also Clone Wars. And, Asajj Ventress. And, now we're going into Clone Wars, Mandalorian, and The Empire Strikes Back. So I guess you're just going to collect everything from the movies now. And Clone Wars, and Rebels, and... Warning, do not buy. Maybe addictive. But that's fine, that's fine. Anyway, let's take a look for articulation right after we... Just, you know, I already showed how the jetpack pops off and stuff, and the guns, so might as well just bloop. You can just put this on. Oh my God. Doesn't she just look fantastic? I love this armor and the helmet design so incredibly much. Oh my God. Seriously, Bo-Katan is one of my favorite characters ever. She absolutely rocks. I am so happy we actually got her in The Mandalorian, because without that we probably would have never had this fantastic figure here. Anyway, as for articulation, now of course, even with the helmet on, it can do a full 360. And, well, you move the helmet around a bit, but it can look up that far, unless, of course, you play around with the helmet a little bit over her head. Though her chin does pop out then. And she can look down that far, unless, of course, you wiggle around the helmet again. As for without the helmet, well, of course, a full 360. And she can look up that far and look down that far. She has the same range of articulation on the head with the neck as Asajj Ventress, although her neck does turn at the lower half here. I think I got it aligned now again. Yeah. Anyway, this is very nice though. This is very nicely done. because you don't actually see much of a gap there, but they raised her shoulder just high enough that you can do this. This I love very, very much, because otherwise it would have been like nudge and it wouldn't go further like that, and you would have just had this range of emotions, or this would have been gone over the shoulder. But I like how this goes very, very much. This does not bother me so much that it goes laps over there. But this way we actually get the full range of motion for the shoulders. And you hardly see like a gap there. I like that very, very much. I just hope it doesn't. No, this is a soft rubber. It's a very soft rubber. As you can see, it just nudged against it. So you will likely not have to worry about any paint chafing at all. That is very, very, very great. Anyway, yeah, full motion there. Once again, no swivel at the bicep. We just get the rotation at the elbow. It's a single jointed elbow, so it goes about that far. Although it does go a bit back as well, instead of just straight. Anyway, and of course, at the hand, we also get the full 360. Now she has the hand plates here and the gauntlet, so we can't go up that down that far, but there's no it doesn't hit the, you can feel the ratchets a bit, like you can feel the click, like where it goes, like it clicks in here straight, and you can go one down, but it doesn't go up because of the gauntlet. Again, there's the ball joint at the waist, or a bit of wiggly waggly motion there, and a full 360 turn. Now, despite the holsters, because they are in a soft rubbery plastic as well, she can go for a split about this far. The leg goes forward that much, backwards a little less far. We do get that her leg turns at the upper thigh. Once again, a single jointed knee. Now this pad is just stuck on the upper leg there, the knee pad, so it doesn't get in the way or anything. It does also turn at the knee, and of course we get a pivot at the foot, and it goes back that far and forward that far. She actually got a wider range on her foot than most, with like forward. Usually it's either they go forward very much and are stuck at the back side like this far, but this one goes one notch further. I feel like it was only supposed to go this far, but because of how the way the foot is molded, like the notch here, it allows it to bend just enough, and it can go an extra click. Not sure if that will make your foot a bit malformed if you keep her posed like that though, so be careful with that. But that is a fantastic figure. I have to say the Mandalorian figures so far have been so well done. All the details in the paint and the extra, like the scuffs and the scars and everything like that, and the dirt, and the same for Cara Dune and the Mando. The paint job on those were also very nice, but they usually forget the backside. And for Bo-Katan, that is also my only nitpick with this figure, is that I'm just like, oh, come on. Only that? You're gonna just leave out the paint on that? Otherwise it would have gone. Otherwise I would have given this figure the full 10 out of 10. Well, 9 out of 10, because once again, you know, no extra hands or anything, no other hands poses, just the ones for holding the gun. And that would have been fine with most figures, but sometimes they do extra hands for Black Series, I think. But for Lightning Collection and Marvel Legends, they do it all the time, almost. There are very few exceptions where we don't get extra hands. And I just feel like, why not with Star Wars? Like, I would have loved to have a Darth Vader that didn't just have the lightsaber holding hands, but would have actually had like a Force choke hand. And again, the paint apps for the Star Wars Black Series line does seem to be a lot better than for, say, Lightning Collection, at least the consistency is. And for the Marvel Legends line, it's, well, personally I only collect the animated characters, so I'm not too familiar with if the MCU line is cheaping out on paint or anything. But I'm also guessing those figures might be more popular, so it might be more profitable to actually spend the money on the paint there. Businesses, what a concept. But anyway, I am very, very happy with Bo-Katan here. So enough with the blah, blah, blah. Let's just get these two posed together for one final shot. And there we have them together. Now, I did see that posing Asajj Ventress like this does have its complications with the sash there, or however you would call it, because it's hard rubber plastic. It gets in the way of posing her in like a slightly crouched way, because the moment it hits the floor it will push against the figure. It's a pretty thick piece of rubber, so it won't really bend. It will try to keep a bit straight, so you will be posing her with like the thing not down or folded in, but just folded out like that. On the other hand, it does help her balance a bit too, I guess, so there is that. But I have to say that Bo-Katan is definitely the best out of these two figures. I would have probably preferred to see like maybe this could have been like printed on fabric too, I guess, and this could have been a better fabric. And with Bo-Katan, I'm just like, all right, there's no paint on the back. I can fix that without too much trouble. And with Asajj, it's going to be a little bit of a problem, I guess. On the other hand, am I being too harsh for Asajj Ventress here? I don't think I am. I feel like this is some weird choices, and I feel like a different fabric would not have changed the costs in any way. And instead of having that belt as rubber, they could have just glued fabric behind it, which wouldn't have gotten in the way of posing and stuff. On the other hand, it does look very nice like this with the molded details on there. So I guess it's whichever you prefer. But still, they are fantastic figures nonetheless. Anyway, that was it for today. I want to thank you for watching, and if you would like to see more, be it either Star Wars Black Series, be it Marvel Legends, be it Power Rangers Lightning Collection, or anything else, there will be skits coming in soon, and cosplay help if I can manage to get all these videos out, because I got so many figures to go through at the moment, but that's okay, because we do enjoy doing this. So I wish to thank you for watching, and I hope you would care enough to subscribe, and or leave a like and leave a comment behind, because that would really help me out here. And I do wish you a fantastic day, and I hope to see you next time.